This is Ernest Hemingway's The Old Man and the Sea, printed in 2003 by Scribner. But it is not the printed material in this book that makes it interesting at all. The reason that this book is so special is what was added after it was purchased. I saw this book at Goodwill, and I simply picked it off the shelf because I saw that it was a work by Ernest Hemingway, so it piqued my interest a little bit, but I was planning to put it back. Then I saw these blue sticky notes sticking out of the pages and thought that was very odd. And after I flipped through this book, I took it to the counter immediately and purchased it because of how special it is. So when we flip to the inside of the front cover, you can see these blue sticky notes in here. They say guided questions 5 and guided question 7. And they have a small little response written at the bottom of each one. And these yellow sticky notes I added here are to cover up the original owner's name and contact information, which was written on the corner of this cover. As soon as we flip to this first page, you'll see why this book is so interesting. And that is the annotations included in this book. This first page does not have that many annotations, but it does have a few. And there are a few phrases and words that are underlined, highlighted, circled, stuff like that. I thought this was only the beginning page or the first few pages of the book. But as you flip through this book, you begin to realize that it is not just a few pages. It is every single page in this book. Every single page is completely annotated to the brim, and some pages are annotated so much that there is not a single bit of white space left to write anything more. This definitely appears to be some sort of school assignment. I'm not sure if it was mandatory or if the writer was very dedicated and wanted to write as much as possible, or maybe it was some sort of extra credit or bonus project. This student's handwriting is incredibly neat, and it is legible all throughout the entire book. A sturdy shack replicates a sustainable base to the old man's life. The excrement of seabirds used as fertilizer signifies that the shock is inexpensive. So all of these annotations are perfectly readable, and they are actually related to the text. They're not just gibberish. And these sticky notes with these guided questions are all throughout the book. And the sticky notes make me believe that this may have been for some sort of mandatory school assignment because it was part of a group discussion or something similar like that. Almost every word is underlined completely. Now this book has about 12,000 words, if I remember correctly. And as you can see, the font on each page is quite big. So there may only be 100, maybe 200 words on each page. And the annotator clearly wrote much more than 100 or 200 words on each page. So I believe that this annotator wrote more words about this book than there are words in this book. And that's not a very educated guess. It's quite obvious once you look through a few pages of this. If I had to take a guess, there's probably 3 times, 4 times, maybe 5 times as many annotation words as there are words in the actual text itself. Although this isn't a high value find that I could sell for thousands on the internet, it is definitely the single coolest thing that I've ever found in a thrift shop. If you look at this page, you'll notice that nearly every single word is underlined. I'm not sure if this sentence is special in some specific way, but the student or annotator in question added a special clear piece of tape. Look at that 2-page spread of annotations. Absolutely incredible. There's almost no white space left to write anything new. This spread as well is extremely packed with annotations. The only bits of white space I can even see are right here, and I guess if you count this part right here. Another packed page. Wow. Look at this right here. The amount of text packed into this little column along the side is incredible. I've never seen somebody who can write in such a small font and still have it be completely legible to the naked eye. In this instance, the sun replicates how there is a natural force of nature commenced upon the old man's circumstance. The line is not coming in and coming in any longer could indicate that the connection between the old man and the marlin has conclusively ended. I would say it was more my fault that I stumbled there because I was mixing up my words because I do not know my English. I wonder if this book may have actually belonged to some sort of literature teacher who went above and beyond for his or her students. But judging by the contact information left in the front of the book, I'm led to believe that this was done by an actual student at the school. And the reason I say that is because the email is formatted in the way that a student would have his or her email formatted and not in the way that a teacher's email would be formatted. I also looked up the owner of this book online, and I was able to find somebody who's local to this area underneath that name. And that person does attend one of the Ivy League schools. I can't quite remember which, but I think it was the University of Pennsylvania or Yale. Actually, I remember now, it was Harvard. And that seems fitting for a student dedicated enough to fill a book this much with these beautiful annotations. Down to the very last line about the book, we still have a page packed full of annotations. Absolutely incredible. And there's the final page of this book. This is definitely an incredible thing that I found. I'm considering having it rebound in hardcover so that it will last longer, and scanning it so that I can print another copy of it, because this right here is absolutely incredible. Thank you very much.